All right, hello everyone. It turns out that we're episode 15, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. That we were really late for the past 2 episodes. Welcome back for another episode.
Sorry, can I do the remote just in case it's too loud?
Which remote?
The gray.
The gray one.
Yep, so loud.
Thank you. Where we last left off was on the Paradise Islands of the Moonshade Isles, where our heroes rested, conspired with some rebels, made alliances, some tactical, some romantical, and had a lot of fun on our beach episodes. But now,
Stars had lots of fun.
as promised, we are doing a flashback back to this epic fight with a bunch of spiders and rats and mutants.
Wait, I thought we were doing the event.
Yes. Hear me out. Because we erased the amount of HP everyone had, because we erased the spell slots and we leveled up and everything, what we're going to do is very simple. Everyone is going to describe one really cool thing that their character does during this fight, and then that your character is going to try in this fight. And everybody's going to roll a skill check to see if they manage to do this fight. But everything else is up to the imagination, and your characters emerge victorious. Okay. So if you want to, there's 4 other students here. One of which is a named character in a wheelchair, Claudia. Hoover is also present. So if you want your role to be, I want to try to kill Hoover in the middle of the fight and then make it look like it was the rat people, you can make a skill check for that, right?
That Hoover to die?
No. I was spitballing, giving examples of like.
What cool thing we
For
could
example,
do.
this student accidentally rolled into the ditch and fell and fell into the sewers, like creatures.
Yes.
Like
So
that.
I'm essentially throwing a narrative curveball at all of you to tell me how this scene happened. Well, tell me how you tried to make this scene happen.
Okay, so I was actually not thinking about my magical tinkering for a while, and I'm looking this up. One of the things I'm going to try during the battle is I can make a static visual effect appear on an object's surface.
Yeah.
It can be a picture 25 where lines and shape, or a mixture of these elements as you like.
Okay.
So
what's the surface that it can occupy?
What all do we have? What
Oh.
all do we?
You were in the rain. So you had your waters were deep. In fact, I would consider the whole of the water that is at your feet, that is overflowing from your sewers, to be a single object.
Okay, so what I was going to try to do is make a frightening image of some sort of predatory creature to scare away the rats and the insects.
Okay. Make a what's it called?
Can I help with my nerves?
Make an Arcana or Intimidation. If you do it with Arcana, I'm gonna give you a -2. I think this is very intimidation, more like what is scary to them than
Yeah. I'm still gonna roll Arcana because I got proficiency in that.
Cool.
So hopefully I roll good. Okay, so that's going to be 21.
Excellent. You are able to turn the tide of the battle from those creatures are all gonna pile up on you. very quickly too. Those creatures are scattering. Some of them, very few of them, lashing out. But they're the problem of this fight now becomes how do you stop them from getting away and retreating back into the sewers. So, what other cool things do your characters try to do?
Are we all standing in water?
Yeah. And right now, the water at your feet has like this weird, terrifying image. What did you say that it's? What does it sort of look like?
So I was thinking like since I'm doing the whole water, like maybe images of like very like enlarged images of things like, you know, cats or dogs or bats or like, you know, things that like
Predators.
eat like,
Yeah.
you know, rodents and insects.
Yes. So like they see their worst fears crawling towards them under the surface of the water and start to scatter.
If I were to
Excellent.
use lightning bread on the floor,
Lightning breath. Ooh, lightning breath on the floor. Well, let me tell you what. I will allow you to try with a skill check.
I can help with that. I can help with that because I have
I just need to make sure that everybody else is going to be safe.
oh yeah, resistance.
Is
You
that
can,
right?
you can cast it as a spell. Okay.
Yes,
On
as
the,
a cantrip.
right, so you can help one person.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So, like, while you're sort of like debating, should I use this? Should I not? You see, he's casting resistance on who?
I'm probably going to pick the student.
Cool. Yeah.
And you can do anything to prevent anybody else from getting shot?
I can jump on my broom.
Hell yes. You're stuffing your yes. Excellent. So, Damien, tell me. This is. So yeah, whether or not it works or backfires terribly will be based on your roll. What skill do you think works best for? Do you think maybe perception for aiming? Do you think history for? And this one time that a dragon shot lightning into the sea, it did this effect.
I mean, I do got a +5 on history. I think.
Or it can be a spell saving throw. It can be a spell, your spell.
The
attack.
13?
Yeah.
So what I want to roll a 13?
No, you'd be rolling with a +5, basically.
Oh, +5. Oh,
yes.
Oh, okay, +5.
Okay.
Well, either way, if I go to a history or that, it's still a +5, so.
Oh no! Wait! I don't want to do that because I think I have a better first level spell.
I think
It was the one I was actually thinking of.
Gary.
because-
Gary, we're not gonna play the whole battle. Y'all are going to emerge victorious, right? This
Yes.
is the single cool action in that moment.
Well, no. What I mean is like what I was thinking of when I said resistance was actually the first.
Absorb elements.
Yeah, absorb elements.
Cool. So you can use that on yourself as a reaction to have that damage. But we're so
And
then
the resistance, so even if I do get.
yeah, you'll take half damage only from it. You know.
And
Only
as a
half damage.
yeah,
You're gonna electrocute us all to kill the bugs? Is that
Yes.
what's happening?
Okay. So go ahead and make your roll.
And just so Cobra survives.
Go ahead and make your roll.
I'm guessing that
actually, well,
Well, I'm
we're
guessing that
probably not using
everybody here
actual
survives,
physics here, but
Because I'm not trying to kill staff or students. So.
This is we're nowhere near the realm of physics.
19!
Oh my gosh, you rolled
19.
19.
Excellent.
+5.
Okay. You you tell
Cobra
the
should have
others
these
what
spells too anyway.
you tell the others what you're about to do. You see a few of the students sort of like panic, and one of them just throws like a freeze bomb on the floor so that they're sort of like standing up, like not on the water, and they sort of like you throw out the breath The regular physics would have the electricity go directly into the ground beneath it, but this is your magical dragon breath, and you're able to deal a tremendous amount of damage that instantly kills most of the small creatures. You do like one damage over like the whole pond. How does Rot stand out during this fight?
We're battling small insects?
Yeah.
In a puddle of water?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Right.
This is in the courtyard. There's also like the larger ones and the larger rats. But yes, this is essentially a big fight in a big puddle.
What like a lake?
What I kind of want to do
yeah.
is I kind of want to cast Summon Beast,
Okay.
and I want to cast it like as a giant chicken right over the entrance to the sewers.
Okay.
So that if any of the bugs try to go into the sewers, the giant chicken will eat the bugs.
Excellent. Do you consider a chicken to be a beast of earth or air?
It could be either, but they're very bad at air.
They can't fly.
They can't fly very well.
They can fly, just badly.
I don't really understand how to read this.
Oh, okay. Yes, this is a monster stat block. So it's like a mini character sheet. So
Yeah.
basically, yeah.
Let's.
Okay, so it just gets different stuff,
Right.
whether it's air, land and water, or water only. So if it's like a flyby, it doesn't do attacks of opportunity when it flies out of an enemy's reach. And if it's like land and water, it gets advantages on rolls. Yeah, tactics is good. It's fine.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll do land.
Cool. Okay. So you call. I think, given your style and your power, you're able to summon the magical power from the spores that are deep beneath Candlekeep now, where the bomb is, and you draw your magic up out of it, and the earth starts to sort of like crack and turn up as this massive creature emerges out of the sewer, extends its wings as the lightning strikes in the background, and all of the creatures that are scorched from the attacks from the other two, fleeing terrified, stand in front of you. I need you to make an intimidation check for me. I think that's most appropriate here, right?
17.
Oh my goodness, you've rolled so well.
18.
Excellent. The creatures are like deeply terrified, completely routed, disorganized. You're able to pick them off completely in the rain. As you do so, you see that like Hoover is a lot less efficient. The students are like amazed. There's constant gasps at what you're achieving, and like Hoover is like getting the students out of there, focusing on like their protection. But you are the ones who shine in this moment.
At least Crisp now has an honest reason not to kill us.
Yes.
Yes.
Thanks to those opinions, you are able to. You will have some bonuses going forward into the next chapter of this story. But before then, there's one thing that comes up. When your characters are sort of done evacuating, you sort of hear something massive sort of like flying over you and descend on where you and all of the students are. And as this thing is like emerging out of the darkness of the night, at full speeds, and the water immediately starts to transform into ice particles that slam into you, and then snow as Indominus Crisp lands in front of all of you and says, "The sewers are overflowing. This is going to damage the foundation. I need one of you to swim down there and put the orb back where it's supposed to go." As this happens, you see some of the lights inside of the school have started to light up again.
Oh,
The magic is returning.
interesting.
And Crisp says, "It's your job."
Wait, so I have to swim down there and do what now?
Put the orb back where it's supposed to be.
What save do you need in order to remove it efficiently?
Um,
I think I would do an octopus shell.
Wisdom.
what are you thinking of doing?
I would probably send my. No, I don't want to kill my. I don't want my familiar to die.
I
You-
can
you-
change
you
it
can-
into an octopus.
You can recast the spell and get a new one, but this one it's still the same one. It's still sassy, you know.
Sassy.
Yes, I already killed Sassy once. I don't want to kill her again.
Ooh, I could be a giant seahorse.
That would look cool.
Or-
you know what? I'm not gonna say anything about seahorses.
Or
Right.
No, the octopus makes the most sense because I have all the legs. I can like.
Yeah, but you can't
Is
touch
it-
the orb.
but they won't be able to touch the orb either way.
That's what I said. She wouldn't be able to touch the orb.
Yeah, no. But yeah, don't you need like a certain? What's the save to move the orb? Is what he was asking.
Yes, it's an Arcana check to successfully move the orb.
I got a 2 on Arcana.
I have a
Well,
5, or that would have been a 4 in Arcana.
It is based on intelligence, so if you have something that can boost someone's intelligence,
I got a plus 2 in intelligence, so 15 in intelligence.
I have 3 in Arcana. What did you guys say?
that's good.
I would have had a 4 in Arcana.
What was your character sheet say?
I mean, right now I have a 5.
Oh, but before it would have been.
Yeah, it would have been a 4 then.
Oh,
Like, I would have had
Yeah.
the highest Arcana. But, like, I don't think I have anything that would, like, let me hold my breath all the way down to there. You have a...
air bubble?
No, I don't have that prepared for this scene.
Yeah.
It's for like
Oh, it's for the next
what's
scene.
coming up. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Isn't that right?
That is correct.
Okay.
So, Crisp sees that you're like considering your options, your magical properties, and says, "Get a move on."
You guys, I think I should just go for it. A 3 versus a 4 is not that much.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna use Wild Shape to transform into an octopus.
Okay.
A black octopus with purple spots.
Excellent. Very cool. As you so you head with your ability to move around on foot until you get until the water starts to like rise above your knees, and then you're able to like transform into this little octopus and make your way into the parts of the sewers that are now completely like the grids having been opened by all of those monsters that you hunted down earlier. You swim down. As you do, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. Those sewers are nasty.
Yeah, no kidding. I
Yeah.
was wondering.
Think that would be alright? Yay.
15 plus 3 is 18.
18? Okay, cool. You don't get the poisoned condition as you sort of like swim your way through those corridors. They are no longer lit by torches. And as an octopus, do you have dark vision?
Yes, I do. I have 60 feet of dark
Oh
vision.
wow! Okay, so yeah, you're able to like maneuver through there rather efficiently. You do see some some small fishes that have been able to survive in this environment. A few of them are bioluminescent, but you have your own spores that sort of like drop in with you and that project this purple light. You're able to get to where the orb is without much trouble. You encounter a couple of creatures that have drowned along the way. Once you get there, you see that the orb has basically fallen to the floor, and it is absorbing water, but it is not in its like proper spot to sort of like drain the sewers faster. So.
So, I obviously can't cast spells as an octopus, correct?
That is correct.
So, do you remember what we did last time?
If every time that you fail to draw it to control it, it moves 10 feet towards you.
That's right. If she rolls a nat one.
Oh, okay, so if I move to the opposite side of it
Yeah.
and try to move it and fail, then it moves towards me.
Yeah.
And it would eventually move into the holder, hopefully, right?
Hopefully, yes. It depends on, it always moves 10 feet exactly, which means it's going to be, if it's not exactly 10 feet, it's better to get a way to control it, basically. It is.
What do they need to roll? What do they need to roll to get the controller?
If you don't remember the DC, I'm not going to tell it to you again.
Do you remember?
It was not low, is what I remember.
How do I control it? I just roll Arcana?
Yeah, you just roll Arcana.
Oh, well, I want to try and control it then. I've got 3 on
Make your roll. You position yourself so that even if you fail, it gets drawn towards where it's supposed to go.
Oh, no.
20!
Oh boy! So you draw it. You control it exactly. The difficulty is actually 20.
Oh, nice.
So, is it a natural 20?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Excellent. You put it exactly where it's supposed to go, and even though that puts it much closer to you while it's starting to draw everything in, you're able to
swim the fuck out of
yes, swim the fuck out of there. Basically, reach a spot that you can grip into and transform back into a gnome as the air sort of rushes back in.
Okay.
So you have
You're alive down there!
you have also saved the money a ton of water damage costs.
The universe
Okay,
pays
so I
for
hope that
them.
equals a bonus.
So
Can't believe I rolled a nat 19.
I can't believe it. No, I was like, please don't be a 1. Please, anything but a 1.
I'm going to call for a short break while I do a little bit of math concerning
Okay.
what just happened, so that we can have the next scene.
Our bonus!
Oh yeah,
Okay, we return as our characters 2 days later find themselves before the start of their shift summoned into the office of
Clark.
Clark. This is your first time being summoned there. You've never been there before. Do you attend the summons?
Knowing Clark, yes, if not, it's gonna be a fucking write-up.
Yeah, obviously, and we put on our uniforms.
and I will also say that in my report, I definitely detailed all the medically relevant damage I suffered under Empress Whitepaws.
Okay. Yes.
All the scratches and everything. In
Excellent.
that's the only thing that was in deep and minute detailed down to the last. What? Dot your I's and cross your T's.
Cool. Thank you for adding this. So over the break, we went over what had been accurately or inaccurately reported. Damien, you accurately reported your interaction with the headmaster.
Well, I said that he insisted for me to help others.
Yeah.
And to leave him be.
Yes, absolutely.
And he can take care of himself.
You did not tell any lies during that report. Haley, when it came to the destruction of the wall with Aristine Malthus, you reported accurately. And for you, when you reported accurately on the damage you took from White Claws, and you reported accurately on your investigation when it comes to Hoover.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So, which of you? There is a large metal, apparently golden, maybe fake fool's gold. I don't know what that's called.
Knocker.
A knocker on the door, and
Something-
it seems to be massive and oak-like. Okay.
Oh,
Cool.
Rod can barely reach.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say, you want me to jump up there and try to swing on it?
Okay. You hear Clark's voice coming from the inside that says, "Come on in."
That's what
Here we
he's
go.
about.
Okay. You find yourselves in this small space, very high, just full. It's half as small as this room that we find ourselves in, and it is just full of papers stacked on top of each other. Entire ledgers, books that have been compressed by the weight of 3 stories worth of neatly arranged for a lot of it in like neat rows. This is like a lot of it is arranged as a sort of library library walls. They're pretty deep, and some of it is just on a huge pile right behind. What's his name? Clark.
That must be what he's still working on.
Yes, and you see that he has a large desk that takes up most of the room, of the rest of the room, which means that your chairs there's 3 chairs in front of his desk, and they're pressed against the wall and the door by the desk, so you barely have any room. Like you don't have room leg at all.
All right.
Sit down.
Okay.
I still have some.
Some-
Thanks.
Wait, I'm small.
I can imagine you going.
So.
How's it going, Clark?
So what do we?
Lots of paperwork after what happened 2 days ago. I'm gonna be sending you over to follow up with those rebels soon. But before we do that, all right. As a reward for your amazing performance in saving all of the students, the school has decided to award each of you with a 200 gold reward. And you see that from beneath his desk, he grabs those leather bags, 3 of them that clang against the table. For your extreme ingenuity in the fight against the rodent, don't write anything down.
Okay.
Oh God.
For your extreme ingenuity in your fight against the rodents that impressed Hoover and convinced multiple students of your worth as a security team, each of you has been awarded a 100 gold pieces bonus, the above and beyond bonus. So he grabs 3 more bags, half as small as the ones that you had. There's 6 bags on the table.
Thank you. That's really quite honorable of you.
Yes, that's very nice.
you see that he has put them on his edge of the table. You would need to lean in to grab any of the bags.
Well, I'm assuming that there's more to this.
Aristine Malthus has filed 2 inhuman resources complaints with the 2 of you. One for harassment, when she said multiple times she did not want to be touched or interact with in her own private place of living.
Well, hold on a second. She was screaming for help.
That is not what her version of events says, and all of those HR complaints have already been processed through our divination teacher.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
There's also she filed the second one for destruction of personal property when a whole wall collapsed, and you're both listed on there. And this has also been verified to be true, but only for the Raza. So Roz, that's 2 more complaints. That's 2 extra write-ups. So you're at 3 write-ups.
I got I fired.
We're getting there. For you, it was you have been reported by the teacher known as Empress Whiteclaw for endangerment and insufficient ability to complete their tasks.
Oh, no.
This one has been left by the divination teacher as vague enough, and will now hear your defense against this accusation.
Fortunately, I was expecting this to be about this incident. I actually have my medical expenses from my interaction with Empress Whitepaws.
Yes. Your report has been filed, and she is. This has been filed as an assault, and those charges have been verified. And Empress Whiteclaw has been given one. Write-up for this.
But yes, I placed myself in immediate harm's way and did everything in my ability to ensure her safety.
Make a persuasion check.
Alrighty, so this is actually going to be good. $16.
16. Okay, so you see, you're making a pretty good argument, and as you do, you see something happens to Clark's face. He sort of has this sort of like twitch, and his eyes go even more blank than usual, and he says, based on your defense and what I know of the incident, I am going to proceed and write you up for this. And like, make an insight check, all of you.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was gonna say. What
He
was
is
that
being
blank
controlled.
blue book for?
Oh no! Oh, those looks, those stares.
Wait, no, I haven't finished rolling mine. I saw her roll. I just first up.
Okay, so natural one on the part of Haiti.
17.
Yes.
okay, so Laraza's going to see this.
4. That's inside, right?
Yes.
Yeah, 17 plus 4. 17. 21?
21, hell yes. Wait, what were we talking about?
Clark's.
Clark.
Oh, yeah, insight. 23. 21, sorry. You're able to pick it up. You've been around this school long enough. This is an enchantment spell that forbids someone from acting in a certain way. It's usually extremely specific, and this is a high level enchantment. Something a teacher might be able to do, definitely not a student. And you also know that it's already failed. He's not able to you would need to do something like profound, like remove a curse to be able to clear that of him. Persuading him now is not going to do anything.
Okay. Do I know how to remove it?
With a 21 insight, you know that the spell Remove Curse or the spell Lesser Restoration would remove that.
I have Lesser Restoration.
Okay. Do you communicate that to Xaris?
Yeah. Yes. Let's say that something's up. Then tell him that he seems to be under an influence of a spell.
I am a paladin. I am protected against such things. Let's stay focused here. Please do not cast a spell on me.
Let's see. You know what? I'm going to
can we use... You said facilitator. We each can use message, right?
Yes. Thanks. It's the equivalent of y'all having talking walkies.
I guess that's how I do it then, without raising suspicion of it again.
Interesting. Okay. So, do you need to make a roll?
I mean, would I need to do sleight of hand or something to
Yes.
perform that without him knowing?
Yes. And you have advantage because Leraza mentioned using the talkie-walkies.
And I guess me and Ron trying to distract, kind of keep him distracted, keep the focus away from him.
Is that silent though? Is that silent communication between us?
Yes. It is,
Oh
it is
shoot!
when you do that.
I'm not going to manage to
But
Can
do
we
sleight
give
of
him
hand.
advantage
You
since
have-
we are...
I already had
Yes.
advantage, and both of my rolls were
Oh.
bad.
Okay, so you very visibly cast the spell, and you see that he's how did? Why do I feel different suddenly?
You were under the influence of a spell.
I'm going to investigate this. I'm going to have to talk to the divination teacher about this. I'm not going to write you up for casting a spell unless if I look through the rules and I find that this was...
No harm was intended.
Yes.
I appreciate you trying to help me. My defenses normally are good.
You must have let your defenses down.
You're not getting your second write-up for what happened with Miss Whiteclaw, or with Empress Whiteclaw, for now, unless if I find that this enchantment I was on was cast by someone else to help you. For the destruction of the wall and multiple parts of the ceiling over 2 different stories, each of you is being docked 100 gold pieces. You see that he grabs the bonus bags for above and beyond and takes them back off of the table.
Wait, why should they be penalized for it when it was just mine?
This was considered to be a group error by splitting up, and that better coordination would have resulted in
if we did not
would have
split
resulted
up,
in the rogue being there to unlock the locks.
if we had not split up, Empress
But
Whiteclaw.
but if you want, you can take the full penalty for yourself.
No, I don't want to.
I don't mind.
Don't want to.
That's all you go.
Yeah. I suspect they're going to dock all of it.
Yeah.
Leraza, you are getting a write-up for having lied in a report that you made about the headmaster, who tells a very different story about what happened, and the divination teacher has found that you are that you're
He
guilty
told
of
me to
that.
leave him alone and to save the
This-
students instead.
This is not a hearing like it was for Kazaris. I'm just telling you that
And I'm asking how was it a lie?
You see that like he produces a document and it says it's basically an incident report on the part of the headmaster. You see that it happened it's signed the day after when you filed your report for the whole thing, and it basically describes that you were he was not carrying in his office. He was preparing something to restore the magic faster, and that you were bothering him and not following his orders, and that you reported falsely. You have a distinct impression that this is not what happened, right? But it's already stamped at the bottom. You've already been docked.
Very fair.
And
This hasn't done this crisp written all over it.
I doubt
I
it.
doubt it.
so, two of you now have 3 write-ups, which means you should be getting terminated.
What 3 write-ups?
You had your first write-up for in the first day that you were here.
Yeah, for not being
Yeah,
in
but
uniform while performing.
What are we wearing our uniform that day?
It's not about wearing your uniform. You jumped into a situation before you had even gone through orientation.
Then how did we get a uniform if we didn't go to orientation?
It wasn't about the uniform. It was about not having gone through
Exactly.
orientation.
Don't we get our uniform after orientation?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
You're referring to the
memory.
time skip, and he's like, my memory is a little bit fudgy, but I did read your I reread the incident report recently, and it clearly said you were not in your uniform.
You can ask the headmaster. He was there and he showed up in the room.
The write-up is already on. The write-up is already there. If you want to take it through procedure to have it removed, you can. Now, obviously, at the moment, things are not looking great for everyone in this room. There is a simple solution. Recently, our treasurer, Indominus Chris, has introduced a new piece of rules where employees are allowed to show their commitment to the school and that they have learned their mistakes by buying back the write-ups through the process of donating to the charitable causes of the school. It's the agreed upon price for your two
Let me guess, 200?
is no. It's 100, the equivalent of 5 weeks of pay.
That is okay.
100?
Yeah, 5 weeks of pay
To keep our job.
to get the write-ups taken off, basically.
100 apiece or 100 total
100 total.
for all 3
No.
to go.
One. Sorry. 100 per write-ups that you want to remove.
We each have 2.
We each have 3.
No.
We ate.
You had the original one, and then you actually got cleared from white class just now, and you that's all. So you're actually still at just 1.
Doesn't our honesty in this situation have anything to do with it? Like, I was honest with the situation with the wall.
You are honest, and that's what's expected of all of you. Though you will notice that those that were dishonest have been reprimanded for it.
Protect the headmaster.
Well, I guess I'll just go ahead and do the money to get them all cleared.
Or why not?
300 gold pieces.
Yeah.
You see that he takes off the rest of your 200. Oh no! Yeah, you.
So it's just 100 from me?
So yes, it only costs you 100 gold pieces to remove all of your write-ups. Okay.
Each?
100 gold pieces each.
Okay.
So that's gonna be Rot has 0. I'm gonna keep track of those now. Kazaris. Damien, would you like for the Raza to remain in the employment and the protection of the school?
Of course.
Okay. How many of your write-ups are you going
And it's
to?
100 per write-up?
Huh?
It's 100 per
Yeah,
write-up?
it's 100 per write-up.
I got 2. How many I have?
You have 3.
I have 3.
Yes.
What did I got 3 again? I know the first one, but it's like... Oh, that divination teacher.
You reported the headmaster. Erstein Malthus claims that you cast a few illusion spells when she was one illusion spell after she reportedly asked not to be interacted with and for her to be left alone. And the
I still find that it would have been better than to leave her in a situation that might have been dangerous.
I mean, you did end up at the very end doing casting a protection spell and helping her out. So you managed to resolve the situation and bring her to safety. But she believed she was safe and that you overstepped.
Huddling and crying in a corner of a room was safe.
In her mind.
So yeah, how many of your write-ups would you like to buy back?
So I just burn all of them, yes. Sure.
It's up to you. You only need one to stay employed, but
And Kazaris, do you want to jump on this offer or leave it on the table because you're in the clear?
Let's just clear the 2 recent ones.
You cleared for 200 gold?
Well, no,
I mean,
yeah.
Okay, so you
yeah,
just
all 3. Let's just do all 3.
okay, so you lose 200 gold. Cool. So you're at 0 again. So you take 200. You lose 100 gold. You take that off of your character sheet. And Kazaris?
I suppose we'll all be on the same footing. So
You pay. Okay, so you only get
100.
Yeah, you only get the 100 bonus.
Yes.
Cool.
what the heck?
Everybody's back at 0.
Mm-hmm.
I lost my pencil.
Well, do. I'll get you another one.
Here.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for your generous donations to the school.
Generous.
You are dismissed.
It's like after we go out, I definitely think there's something up with the divination teacher.
Yeah, for sure. That was really weird. Also, the perception of how they viewed the incident is also kind of messed up too. Because they only took the perception from one side. She didn't
That's not too surprising.
They took your reports and you could have filed complaints, which he technically did by reporting that's he'd been attacked. Basically they just used your report as the paperwork to file the complaints. Because it's not about reparations to you. It's about it was about putting Empress Whitepaws in her place as well. So she got written up once for so she had already gotten written up once because she clawed at you. So they only if you want to go ahead and file stuff, then then it will be more like they took your account of your version of the accounts into consideration. This was not necessarily meant to be a good fun scene. You can put music back on if we're ready to move on to the downtime.
Alrighty.
I'm cool.
Yes.
The downtime.
You have a little bit of time before the next event, which is going to be the school evacuation. So each of you works hard. You were cheated out of the bonuses that should have been your rewards for this. But according to the administration, the process was fair, and everyone involved is now has now learned their lesson and progressed as professionals. What do you do?
I was saying that even if we would have lied, the divination teacher would have said that's false.
Yeah, in fact, you would have been like
in more trouble.
It didn't matter if the fact that you said the truth was a negative for you, but if they had lied, that would the divination teacher would have checked, and you would have been written up an extra time. So your honesty paid off, but yours backfired.
Yep.
Honesty is the best policy in my opinion.
Either way, I would have better written up.
Yeah, I do find...
I'm finding the headmaster look suspicious now.
I'm finding the headmaster suspicious. I'm also finding the divination teacher suspicious. I figured she was probably a narc, but,
She had already, basically, told Indominus Crisp everything about how the kobolds had stolen from you. He knew the details.
Wait, divination doesn't work like that, does it? Didn't you say that it just gives them a vague information?
Oh, that on a lot of spells, yes, but some spells are more accurate than others, and I haven't read all of the divination spells. I'm spitballing here as a dungeon master, but this is canon. This is what the divination teacher has done in the past.
Wizard choose.
Yeah.
See it.
Yeah. Let's see. I think what one of us should do is look over, when the various faculty members, especially, the divination teacher and all showed up, the headmaster, the divination... when did he become headmaster?
Yes.
When did we get the divination teacher?
Cool. Do you want to if I give you a list of the characters and when they were hired, will you write it down for me?
Yes. Yes, just a minute.
Is this okay? Oh, Ravenpuff.
Alrighty.
Okay. Headmaster. So that's going to be your downtime activity. You do the research for that.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Headmaster Mario Scala was hired 11 years ago.
Alright, 11 years ago. Did he work here before as in another position?
No, he did not.
How did you get hired?
Okay, and next person.
Indominus Crisp was hired 10 years ago. Luzarga Minagro was hired 10 years ago.
Was no staff hired 10 years ago? Was there no staff hired 10 years ago? After the incident?
Wait, 10 years ago... Okay.
The evocation teacher, Nero Cassiope, was hired 9 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Alright. Alrighty.
Maximilian Prost was hired 10 years ago. Clark was hired 22 years ago.
He might be the only one who's left.
From the old staff.
Mm-hmm.
That's a student. Marsha Nebbins was hired 18 years ago.
Okay.
She's the cook.
Yes.
And she did remember, like, before then.
I
remember that from one of our earlier
Cool.
interactions.
That's good, because I don't remember all of them, and I didn't write those details down back then. Hoover was hired 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Geralt was hired 10 years ago.
Geralt. Which one's Geralt?
The necromancy teacher.
Yeah.
Oh, 10 years ago?
Yes. Aristine Malthus was 10 years ago. Mrs. Tritz, 10 years. Empress Whitepaw, 10 years. Professor X, when you look up Professor X, there's always been a Professor X, but they are constantly like quit and get rehired for periods of exactly 40 years.
So
every 40 years they quit and they get
They
rehired.
quit, and then on the same day they're employed again. They
They get pissed and they my job back. Or something else.
Okay, that's interesting.
Professor Malcolm.
When was her last hire?
Huh?
Would I be able to see when her last hire was? Their last hire?
Yep. Let's say that it was. Here, can you roll for the? Can you roll 5d10 for me, please? No, sorry, 4d10.
4 d10s?
Yeah.
Two 3s, a 4, and a 5.
For a total of
16? You
16. Okay, it's been
because he said 2 3s and 2
15.
5s.
15 years. Okay, cool.
Yes.
I thought you said. Oh yeah. No.
Mm-hmm.
You said 2 3s.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
3, 4, 5.
The divination teacher Baguer was hired 10 years ago.
Wait,
What's
did you do Malcolm?
Sorry. Oh yes, Malcolm.
Whoa, wait. The divini. What did you say the divination teacher's name was?
Baguer. Bahger.
Alright. What's 10 years ago?
Yes. It's a good little music for going back into the past.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
And then Prost?
Hold on.
Wait, what was Malcolm?
So Malcolm was hired yesterday.
Huh?
Yeah.
What's Malcolm again?
Malcolm is the transmutation teacher.
A chicken?
Yes.
He was
At
hired
least-
yesterday?
From what it's so like you look back and there's paperwork for one transmutation teacher per day for the past, like you start to he starts to look back, and there's just like for the past 4 years there's been one different transmutation teacher with a different name every day.
Which the divination teacher is not the same divination teacher that we met the first day we started working here?
You think about it, and it was a dude the first time, and then it was a chicken.
Did he transform himself into a chicken by accident? And they're doing that, so that.
Okay. Moving on. Who else is on staff?
You have not done Maximilian Prost.
Yeah,
Oh, Maximilian Prost. 10 years.
No, he did.
Yeah, I did, but that's fine.
What about Vesper Malcolmus?
Vesper Malcolms is not employed by the university.
Neither is Rother Bastion or
Who's
Solfeg.
So did you write down who Brother Bastion is?
No.
Okay. If you look at the character list, does
Let's see.
okay.
Oh, Rother. Rotherbaston. The guy with all the greenery on his arms.
Oh yes, that's the pharmacy. That's the infirmary person. You haven't met them yet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then same with the last character too.
What's okay? So that's gonna be in. I'm looking for my folders real quick.
That sucks. One of my friends just tested positive for pharyngeal cancer.
Oh,
Ooh.
pharyngeal cancer?
Would you
Throat cancer.
would you like for us to take a break and stop?
No, that's fine. I kind of heard of it before, so it's fine.
Okay.
But it's at early stages, so that's not like anything bad yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a few we haven't. Let's see.
I have been pronouncing it right this whole time.
What?
Bluzargaminakra.
Let's argument now.
Yes.
You're not very precise with your M's.
Bluzargaminakra. Yeah, Rother Baston, I have not introduced. Solfege Iris. I have not introduced yet. You mean, so yeah. Would you look up the higher dates of the other?
Yes.
Cool. So I'm gonna need you to remember those for me, in case for when you start investigating your past. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Solfege Iris has been the bard teacher for 26 years.
26.
Marisha?
No, Solfege Iris.
No.
Rover.
Tritz was 10 years. Cause I think I remember that.
Yeah, Prince was 10 years.
Empress White Claw?
Also 10 years.
So Rover Baston will have been here since was hired was hired like last year.
So 1 year.
Actually, I should maybe have more characters that have been here that long. Oh well. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a few other people that show up on the staff that I haven't even provided images for, but you are going to get their names because that's the research that you're doing. But actually, make a investigation check.
An investigation check. Okay.
Do all of us do it?
No, just him.
I gotta pass on that
Hopefully I
one.
get a good. Let me look at what. Oh, nice.
What you got?
I get 18
Nice.
Okay.
on investigation.
18. So you have. Let's see. There might be others. Okay, cool. Yes. There's gonna be a few. Give me just 1 second. Okay, so there's gonna be them. And then where did I store all of that stuff? Okay, what did you roll?
8. 18.
Okay, 18. Okay, then I do have to give you some stuff. Cool. There is a character. Oh boy. Okay. You know what? That's gonna be my homework for next time. I'm gonna give you a list of names of characters that are canonically here, but that are that I don't have their images or their things prepared. So there is there's someone on staff listed as a Gothic architect. There is someone on staff that is listed as a herder, Herder. Who else is on staff that I haven't introduced? Okay.
What about the garden?
All undead?
Oh,
yeah.
There isn't like a head gardener that like directs them.
You reach the conclusion that it's under the purview of the necromancy teacher.
Okay.
Cool. There's you see that there's 5 people, like that there's I believe it's 5. Let me check it out. There's 5 people with and I'm gonna give you their full names, who are listed as is it regents? The board of what was it that I had named them? The board of
Trustees.
The board of trustees. Yes. Okay. Cool. So they have they are hired and they have a salary. Yes, Chico. Yes. Give me 1 second. I'm doing a little bit of homework right now. Boom. Okay, because I have them and I have their names. I just did not upload them.
Yeah.
At least I hope I do. Yes, okay. One of them is called Vladimir. One of them is called Malekith.
I feel like one of them's a vampire.
I feel like 2 of them are vampires.
Malekith?
Yes.
Malekith.
So Vladimir Malekith, Cronenberg, and then there's someone called Rasputin.
Rasputin was it? He was a Russian.
Oh.
And then there's one called Jenny.
Just Jenny.
Yeah.
Oh. None of this is good.
You can
None
tell
of
that
this bodes well.
you can tell that Jenny's the
What's
the one that runs the whole thing.
Discover salaries and how long they've been on the board of trustees?
Not the salaries. Just that all of them have been hired. Like they've been listed as staff for. Like you look through the thing and the ledger you have is for the past 50 years, and they've been on staff for at least that.
Okay.
So you can write 50 plus years.
Okay, so Board of Trustees, all at least
Okay.
50 years. lives.
So
Got
there
it.
are these creatures that live a long life, or are either immortal or live a long life.
Well, I mean, wizards extending their lives is not unheard of.
Yeah.
Also, 50 years is like not that
Uh,
long.
The
It's within the range of relevant possibility
Cool.
for humans.
the person written down as a herder is written ol ol apostrophe, and then it says Karoski with 2 K's, Karos.
Another double K.
Oh, sorry, Karovsky.
I just realized it's showing gaping wrong.
Karofsky?
Karovsky, yes.
All
Very
corrupt.
Polish, huh?
Mm-hmm.
It's not a statement. Is that something that your French background is saying about Polish people? That he's the herder?
Are those separate words or just one?
So I'm, if this is a serious accusation, we can talk about it after the game. I'm open to criticism. I think for the purpose of
The game.
the game,
I was
I'm
just kidding.
not. I'm gonna skip over that one. Okay.
I was just kidding because I'm Polish.
Okay. Cool. Oh shit. Where is the video gone? Okay. There it is. I got it again. Oops. I did it again. Alright. Cool. That is all for you. What about Rot? What are you doing?
Wait. So I don't have any time period for either the Gothic architect or.
Oh, the Gothic architect has been here for 5 months, and the
Herder?
the herder has been here. The herder has been on staff for as long as all of the board of trustees, which is 50 plus.
Oh, nice. Is this gonna be one of those where, like, the janitor secretly runs the entire thing from behind the scenes?
I'm gonna skip over that one as well. Thank you.
Oh god, it's true.
Thank you, Carrie. Is that all of the details that I think that's a good amount of details.
Oh,
that
yes,
I've
yes,
given
that was
you?
that.
That's a bunch.
Yeah, like, I was pretty much just expecting mostly, like, who you'd introduce and.
Yeah. I
had in the folder.
Well, now you know there's a few other extra characters that I haven't but it's important to keep a consistent cast so that we're not just overloaded with characters.
Yes.
I think
yes.
until those characters are needed, if ever.
Do you have an idea of what you want to do, Damien?
No.
Okay. I think in light of the catastrophe with all of the write-ups and how poorly we evacuated during the last emergency, I'm going to review the evacuation procedures from the handbook.
Okay. Cool. Make me an investigation check.
Why? Can't I just read the handbook?
You can. Yes.
Doesn't mean the handbook's going to be clear.
Yes.
So it was an investigation check. Stop, mister.
Yes.
I rolled a dirty 20.
Excellent. This sounds easy at first. You go back through the letters that you have gotten from Clark, but and you reread them for the instructions he said were there. But the letter actually refers to the plans of the school needing to be studied and certain workshops needing to be done in order to sort of like prepare you for this, right? There's different magical events that might happen, like the darkness spell being cast on the whole school, which would require you to be able to find your way through the school blindfolded. So that's a workshop that, according to the rules, you have to take.
No wonder nobody freaking read the letter.
You have to consult the school's architectural plans that are stored in a section of the library. You have to consult specific instructions that are in Clark's office. But because this is your downtime period and you rolled a dirty 20, you do all of those things.
Huh?
You take like multiple workshops, prepare yourself in a number of ways, learn, investigate what the vague descriptions of, and then you have to go to the area right in front of the school door, and that's the evacuation area. So like scout it out to see if it's like they're not clearly labeled, they're not like some of those rules are vague. Some of the workshops you have to like, because nobody else is taking it, you either have to file to have it happen, or you have to pay for it out of pocket, 20 gold. But because you rolled a natural 20, you do all of those things, and you are now a fully accredited and able to evacuate the school by following the rules.
Alright.
You notice that nothing in there instructs you on what would have been the proper way to interact with Ariston Malthus. Like, you...
Okay.
It seemed like a pretty bad situation, but that's, like, as a guard, it's like, that might have been a moment for, like, someone who understood the human brain and psychology and panic response and stuff like this. You realize that, like, even when you go through all of that, like, all of those instructions, all of those things you can learn, there isn't a clear answer to prepare you for every situation.
Okay.
Do you want any more information before I move on to Lerosa?
No, that's
Okay,
fine.
cool.
What to do?
You can also, like, you can investigate your mystery. You can go and meet up and get to learn and know one of the characters that you can focus on if you'd like.
Oh yeah, what mystery again? The ghost.
Ghost, that's your uncle.
And ghost
Oh,
that's
yes.
a relative of mine.
Yes.
I guess I'll go and investigate that.
Okay. How do you investigate? Do you go where it's the limbless abomination? That's the school name for this ghost.
I think so. Well, whatever name I said, just go where I've heard that they've seen it most commonly at.
You find, so you are you ask around, and yeah, there's a few spots, right? This ghost seems to so like as you're looking around for it, you are going to find it basically hovering with only the stump where it's the stump of its legs phasing through the ceiling, and as you sort of like follow it around, it stays at the same level, right? And then a little bit afterwards, it sort of like starts to go down at the cadence of a series of stairs that aren't there. And it's the equivalent of a character glitching through walls in video games and not having the right hit collision for it. Would you like to? Did you roll an investigation?
It's
You can if that can be what you rolled. You can decide to roll something else if you'd like.
investigation. I guess it's a +5. So or history, either one. 15 + 5, 20, dirty 20.
Dirty 20, hell yes. You are going to find that this is the ghost is clad in the remains of its of what appears to be adventuring gear. This was someone with a heavy leather armor, and clearly a dragonborn, right? You're able to see to recognize the scale when you are able to get in close enough to the ghost. The ghost wanders around, but not having a head. It doesn't seem aware when you try to interact with it in any ways. It just floats around, and like sometimes follows a route. Sometimes it appears to be sitting 5 feet up from the ground, and sometimes it just disappears and reappears a small amount of time afterwards. So this was an adventure, and this was a dragonborn. The way that you find out that you're related to it is because I think it still has its cape, and your house insignia is on that cape.
Okay.
Cool.
Cool.
All right.
Hey.
Should we take a small? Oh, he's gonna throw up. Let's take a small break, and we are back. As the as a few weeks have elapsed. Shit, I need to check the date so I can know how much. Okay, y'all get 60 gold pieces because it's been 3 weeks. Okay. Nobody check the timeline, please. I beg you. Like nobody go back into the recordings and check what the timeline is like.
I mean, you know, you also don't want to do that with Star Trek either.
Yeah, that makes sense. So we're going to play 2 scenes as we come out of this, and it's going to be two scenes that follow one another and that are both going to be with you. So.
With Kazaris?
Yeah, Kazaris. So all of your characters are here. Can you put on a tavern or like basically a public place with a ton of people? You are in the Great Hall. You're sitting at some of the round tables that are scattered throughout, and there's the big long table for professors and some members of staff. But as you're still in between, you sort of like have your own round table off to the side.
Okay.
As you're eating breakfast, Donatar is going to come over to you. So this is a red dragonborn. This is a wizard that you met since, and you see as he comes over, he looks back towards his table, and like you see a few of like his security team that are like, "You got this!" Like throwing like thumbs up, and like one of them is like, "Ooh!" And even attracting the attention of some students that are going to start looking in your direction, and
I am 100% ready to watch a wizard fail at a charisma roll.
So Donatar is the dragonborn from the second security team?
Yes, that's correct. Donatar leans in at the table and says, "Good morning, co-workers. We had a pretty chill night."
I'd say it was more eventful for some than others.
Yeah. So we're staying on staff a little bit longer, and y'all are going to clock out a little bit later because we're all going to be on. We're all going to be working together tonight.
Oh, nice.
So y'all can rest a little bit more and get prepared. You have a little bit more of time. And yeah, I look forward to working with you. Hey, can I talk to you?
Sure.
So like you sort of like walk over to the side, and by now some of this you hear a few of the students have cast minor illusion to have music being performed, but you can't trace who cast it. And there's a few that are slowly harmonizing as the students sort of like adjust their spells. And it's like 2 dragonborns in a tree. I don't know what the tune is for this because I've only ever read it.
You have to use the name. So Kazars and Donatar sitting in a tree. K-I-S-S-I-N-G. First comes love, then comes rage.
Oh my
then comes a
god.
baby dragon and a dragon.
You see, like
Gonna be in a dragon thing.
Donatar looks back, and the only one at the table that's like shaking his head is
The paladin.
Grazan, who sort of like looks at the whole situation and is like, "Oh no, this is not good." You remember why he turned you down was because staying a professional relationship. Donatar simply said, "Listen, I don't want to keep you too long. This is a little bit embarrassing. Hey, I didn't get to see you very much over the past few weeks. I'd love it if we could spend a little bit more time together during our off days. And thank you for letting me drink from that smoothie." And you see that he grabs your hand, and you feel something being placed around the palm of your hand.
Oh shit!
And Donatar sort of like leans in, kisses your kisses the top of your temple, and pats you on the back. Do you have anything to say as he's sort of like takes a step back?
Well, thank you. I certainly hope we can. I certainly hope that we can manage some time together. It definitely would be enriching to have some good conversations about magical theory.
Cool. You can write in your inventory that you now have a deck of illusions. It has all of its cards inside.
Was it 52, 32, 52?
You are going to have to look it up on your phone.
Okay.
That's deck of illusion?
Mm-hmm.
A deck of illusions.
If I remember correctly, you roll. Was it a?
I can generate a random number.
Okay. But it's a roll, and depending on the number, is what you draw.
Yeah.
That is.
Well, that's nice.
Yes. And I can see that coming in useful potentially, depending on what we get ourselves into.
Cool.
The deck has 34 cards.
Mm-hmm.
As you return to the table, you see that eyes sort of linger on your table. What do your characters say?
What was that about?
Apparently wanted to give me a gift of sorts. Deck of illusions.
Really pretty powerful.
I would say what? What's wrong?
You hear stomping behind you, and as you turn, you see coming towards your table. It's a large, hulking. You think it's a troll or a giant. This creature is like towering over you, and looks at you, and you see it has a little badge with a crude painting on its chest, and it says replacement teachers. They're like fill-ins. Substitute transmutation teacher. And it says, well, if it isn't my... He looks down, looks at his hand.
Oh god, I know what it is.
Well, if it isn't my old rival, Kazara's.
Isn't it supposed to be Nemesis?
I think it's supposed to
It
be.
is so fun to see you here, little guy. And then you see that he hits you in the back of and it hits you in the back of the neck and sort of like pushes you forward. So I'm gonna need you to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Dexterity saving throw. Ah, this is the one I'm bad at.
Yes. And you're rolling, and I'm gonna roll athletics.
Wait, is he sitting down? He's sitting down.
Oh, can I have a little dice roller, please? Is the brown one being used? Cool. First time using
Oh, nice.
my big die. 3. Okay, no.
No, you did not, because even with my -1, I still rolled an 18.
Hell yes. Okay.
Wait,
So
you're gonna roll that next?
you're not like slammed into the table, and you see that like so now everybody has been downgraded to 1 berry per day, but you can eat it whenever you want and get fully the full day's worth of being fed. But you can also insert it into someone's mouth when they're unconscious to bring them back to 1 HP.
And we still got a ration, so...
Yeah.
So
Those, if you had failed your roll, you would have pushed against it. You would have lost your good berries as they rolled off.
All 3 of us?
Yeah. So, good save.
Good save.
So, I'm going to turn around and tell them, it's probably not worth your time, whatever they paid you.
I don't know what you're talking about. See you around, sucker! And this time you see that he like grabs one of the legs of your chair and sort of like yanks it. And you, I'm gonna need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Again?
Yes. Well, this time it's dexterity, not strength.
But wait, if he's
No,
solid,
it was dexterity last time.
Oh, I meant to say, I am so sorry. I meant to say strength saving throw because you were being like thrown by a good snap.
Oh, in that case, it would have been a 21.
Oh, excellent, cool. Now it's dexterity.
Didn't even hit it. 15.
Okay, cool. You're able to like grab the table and stop yourself from falling as this like lumbering creature sort of like, oh, sorry, must have knocked that off. Here, and he hands you the chair, and as you're about to take it, crushes. Oh, so clumsy.
So you're destroying school property now?
I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to file an incident report for this. Haven't gotten that. But don't worry. You won't need to worry about me. I'll be gone tomorrow. And he sort of turns around and sort of starts to head off.
Interesting.
Now, if you wish, you can select your mystery that you got from, because you haven't selected a
I was
mystery.
saying, who is the actual person behind in sending these people to Casares?
Oh my god.
But that would be a mystery about him. If you want, you can investigate another aspect of this, like who is this? What's going on with the transportation teachers, for example? There's some things that are happening.
How about that be a group investigation?
I mean, if you manage to solve it, even if you haven't selected it as a mystery, you still get the point, right? It's just, if you want me to focus on that or to add a different one.
I think I do like the transmutation teacher. Although I feel like there's still more to know about those rebels and the Circle of Spores.
Yes.
But I've been working on that for a while now, so I feel like I should switch it up.
Cool.
So, why is there a new transmutation teacher every day? That's my mystery.
Sounds good.
Are they actual teachers or are they substitute teachers?
Well, I mean, they're...
All of them were hired as substitute teachers, according to his.
Okay, so they're subs. Well, if they're subs, this kind of makes sense, kinda.
But one a day? Like even for a magical university, that seems a bit impractical.
Maybe it's the same person, just different forms.
I doubt it. Like,
So
because the
maybe-
thing is that's also more paperwork and labor for
so
them
maybe
as well.
why isn't there a transmutation teacher on staff, and why is there a new sub every day?
Yeah.
I think just one of those. Why? Like, what is the reason that there's one transmutation teacher per day?
Because that question covers both, honestly.
Yeah.
So it'll
So
cover
why is
there
there a new transmutation teacher every day?
why is there?
Why is there?
Okay, so as all of you are waiting at your tables, you're gonna hear attention, please. You turn around, you see Headmaster Mario Scala with a little bit of brown dripping off of his dreadlocked beard. As he gets up, his robe is kind of a little bit like messy, like it didn't, like there's traces on it of a previous meal that didn't get cleaned off. He's going to say, "Attention, everyone! Today we are going to proceed to an evacuation rehearsal in light of what has happened recently. This is going to be a full formal evacuation following the one of the disaster scenarios established by the cooperation of Professor Hoover and the head of Human Resources, Clark. So, everyone, as soon as you are done eating, you will hear an alarm ring in your heads. We are going to, everyone is going to evacuate. You leave your things where they are. Everything will be taken care of, and you will be able to, and all of your needs will be taken care of. You will spend the night at Baldur's Gate. Please follow your teachers, and they will coordinate you. Make sure to eat your good berries now, so that you do not need to be provided food for the rest of your day. Security staff, please come and talk to me. And you see that his voice returns to a sort of like normal level.
All right.
Okay.
All right. You and the other team, you can clock in 4 hours. You and the other team will be doing a full sweep. You will be given air bubble powers that and magical objects to protect all of you from the poison. And we will spread the poison made by Professor Hoover and our it's the apothecary of the school, and this should kill most of the pests that we have, while you will make sure that the product is working as intended, moving around to wherever you need to go, investigate spots where you think magical pests might be. We've noticed an infestation of Latodias. They happen regularly when regular little bugs are in the presence of magic repeatedly for too long. They start to grow, they start to mutate and try to eat magic items. Of course, it takes them a really long time because they're tiny bugs, but the mutations make them grow faster, and then their mandibles become able to tear through magical objects, and then it's a whole nightmare. So every year we do this. There's a procedure manual for this exercise that you were supposed to read. Clark will give you more instructions when you clock in. Have a nice rest of your morning. Thank you. And you see that, like, he looks down. He sees a little bit of, like, something white stuck in his beard. He sort of grabs it and...
It's gross.
Oh,
So,
no hard feelings about what happened. I simply reported things as they happened, and the divination teacher just said that you had been falsifying information. I would have written this if I had known. It's okay. You will. Those things happen.
Down on the bridge
Have a good day.
as well.
And be careful with your memory. Memory can play tricks. I've seen that a lot in this school for some reason. Alright, have a good day. So,
Did we tell him about the room? I don't remember him telling him about the room.
You know what? That's something we're gonna have to look back over.
yeah. From the outside, you're able to hear a trumpet.
that must be the alarm.
Actually, Clark looks confused and...
No, because they said the alarm was going to be inside their heads.
Oh.
So sort of like all the students who have not finished eating sort of like start to get back up, and the headmaster gets up and yes, this was not the alarm. You can sit down. You can. No need to cause a commotion. It will be coming. There will be some chimes, some very calming, soothing chimes, and a voice that directs you to the nearest exit. Thank you, students. Since like that.
Some very calming charms to send us
Chimes.
chimes on our way.
Hmm.
So what was that horn then? It came from outside?
Clark has just left to investigate. The security team sort of like looks at each other. Looks towards your table. They're looking at each other like, and you see that tentatively like Morgan, the dwarf, just says, "We're on the clock. They're not. All right, let's go, lads." And they get up. You see they like grab their good berries as quickly as possible, and then they are gonna take care of that weird thing that just happened.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I guess they're gonna take care of that weird thing that just happened.
Yeah, that sounds like someone official showing up.
That's what it sounds like to me.
What if they just announced that for Queen, Empress, or somebody high noble?
Oh. Yeah, it's probably like a king or someone, huh?
I mean, or at least one of the local nobles or whatnot.
Well, I guess I'm just gonna eat these good berries. Go to bed.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Right. The rest you can rest a few more hours. You head to bed. Anything in particular as you prepare for like before you clock in?
Let's see what I have. I think I have the spells I want. I don't want to switch any of them up with
Cool.
the new information. I think I'm good.
Okay. So you
Wait,
just
it's my familiar. What about my familiar?
okay. What do you want to make your familiar into this time?
Oh, I'm gonna get something small so I can be inside the fucking bubble with me.
Oh yeah, that's smart. You might do a spider. What else is really really small? You could do a rat.
Wait, how big is the bubble?
Ooh.
So it just covers me in it from neck.
Just let me know if you do anything during yes or no. You can change your familiar.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. Just.
I mean, I might try to
keep
like
a lizard. And get a spotted gecko.
Yeah.
Lizard.
Sounds good.
yeah. I mean, I might on my way to bed like sort of swing by the front area where the trumpet came and see if I see anything.
I try to do the same thing.
Okay. Both of you can make an investigation check.
Mm-hmm.
Haley. I'm gonna do something we haven't done before. I would like to ask that you leave the room and plug your ears so that you don't hear what I'm gonna tell the other two.
I'm supposed to be asleep.
Yeah. Oh.
Guess I'll go outside and smoke a cigarette.
But if you want, you can look back on the episode. We are 1 hour and 44 minutes in.
Oh, so that means whatever we know, we can't tell her then if she's leaving.
Yeah.
That's the rub.
Yeah. All right. And both of you can make investigation, I think, or perception.
Good thing I wasn't paying attention up till this moment.
Wasn't too, honestly.
Sometimes, you fail forwards. Don't pay attention, it's perfect time. What did you say? 3? Oh, 2, okay. Yes, you, by the time that you get there, actually, yeah,
Yeah, I was
like,
gonna say what's the second.
they've already disappeared into a corridor by the time that you get there. I mean, they're nowhere in sight. What
I'm gonna
That's
wait
okay.
because I rolled a bit higher.
Okay, that's it. Really.
16.
Okay.
Shouldn't I leave then?
No, because he's near you when the two of you are investigating.
Oh, so I was right behind him, basically.
So you follow your ears. You hear you hear the stomping of metal on stone, rhythmic, coordinated, and as you follow it, you enter this sort of go back into a building. You enter this corridor, and you find yourself in the looking at the back of 2 creatures in heavy armor that are about this tall. So you're very easily able to see that there's just a row of them. That there's 8 of them. There's 16 of those little creatures. Same uniform, same heavy armor. Wearing, they all have halberds and shields, but the smaller shields, and basically their armor is pure white with some golden embroideries. So it's like this sort of almost reflective, but not in a mirror kind of way, in just a pearl type of material. And in the middle of those 16 gnomes, you were able to see another one that is just standing up, and the only thing that you're but because it's shorter than the rest of them, the only thing that you're able to see above the halberd and helmet is a little golden crown with some onyxes on it, black stones, and you see that all the way at the front is the rest of the security team that's sort of guiding them around. You see the two guards sort of turn around, look at you, and saying, "We were told there wasn't another security team on shift. Please move along. There's nothing to see."
My bad. Wrong turn.
Move along. And literally, they just stay here, basically in your path.
I mean, I wasn't even trying to get close to him. I'm just
Kind of from a distance, kind of thing.
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So yeah.
Cool.
I'm not interested in interacting with that.
Cool.
Wait, is there anything else on that side besides?
Nope. You head back. Oh, unless if you want to, investigate some more. That's always an option.
No.
Cool.
No, I think I have a very good idea of what's going on.
I kind of think it's kind of like a queen, princess, prince. Underdog.
Oh, well, you can finish your cigarette if you'd like. Do you want me to keep the door open or? Okay, cool.
Chico is right. You can't escape.
Freedom!
Cool. Damien, can you give Haley her character sheet? And Haley, can you just...
Stay here.
Yes, please.
Am I leaving again?
No. So, a few hours pass. Like, much less than that. Sorry. Yeah, 45 minutes pass until all three of you are woken up by a hard stomping against the door. But for two of you, it's not against your door. You just wake up and like that was someone who and you hear Donatar's voice that just says, "Hey, Rot, are you in here?" And then another. What do you do?
Yeah, I'm here. Is it time to go?
Yeah, can you come to the door, please?
Well, give me a second.
You have the little thing if you want to see who's outside. But okay, let's see. That's not something they would have like. It's like at human eye level.
Of course. So I drag a chair over.
Okay.
And I stand on the chair to see who's outside.
Cool. You're able to see that it is Donatar and 8 out of the 16 guards that I... Oh, sorry, you weren't here. And you see 8 gnomes wearing full heavy armor with a white porcelain metal that's surrounded by like sort of golden decorations, wearing halberds and small round shields that are just like very tiny and completely surrounding the door and Donatar, the red dragonborn.
Alright. So, what's going on out there, man?
Yeah, can you please just open the door? What's his name? The asshole with the beard and the big book, Clark.
Say that again.
He wants you to clock in early, and there's a visitor that apparently you have to see in an official capacity.
Well, alrighty then. Guess I'm gonna go. So I open the door.
Okay.
And
you see all of the guards sort of like stand at attention as you like the moment you're visible.
Oh, okay. Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going? Are these the visitors?
Apparently there's it's somebody elsewhere. I need to escort you to one of the empty classrooms that we have.
Okay, lead the way.
All of you are able to hear most of that if you're paying attention after the really loud knocking. Would your characters, woken up by this, investigate?
Absolutely.
Yes.
We are nosy.
Cool. All right. So, if you're trying to stay behind those folks, you got to roll. No, actually, they're very loud. You follow them. It's about rolling stealthy enough that they don't.
I get an advantage on stealth with my boots.
Yes, thanks to your boots. Thanks to your elven boots. That's right.
And regardless, I still get a +8 on my fucking roll. Because we're rolling stealth, right?
Yes. And if you can put some... go ahead and roll. I'll tell you what music to play.
13. I can roll one time, right? For my advantage.
Yes. You're being led into a room where there's only one chair and it's occupied. That's why I'm
making me stand.
Making you stand. If you feel like you need to sit down, you absolutely can. I just wanted to sort of like set the scene, if that's fine. Yeah?
I got 21.
All right.
My highest roll.
21 with your highest roll? Okay,
yeah.
Cool. You are undetected. They are taking them to the spot where they said, which is basically an empty classroom in the central building.
I got an 18.
Okay, cool. You're both able to, like, you see each other. Yeah, I asked. Actually, hold on.
Well, yeah, it's just I noticed I'm like, oh wait, I'm like blocking the way even if she wants to sit down.
Okay, cool.
Should I face the camera?
It depends. Cool. So you enter the room. When you get there, you see that there's 4 more of those guards at the entrance. And then when you open the door, there's like 4 more guards at each of the corners of this classroom, sort of like looking in. This classroom has no windows to the outside. It is lit up by a couple of stones that artificers can just make them light up, and they've all been strategically placed towards the center on this little table that's right next to a seat that is facing away from you.
Okay. So I'm gonna walk in.
Leave us! And the 4 guards just exit the room.
Hi. Who are you?
My name is King Rodolfo.
You're the king, huh?
Yes, I am. And you are Rot the Horde.
That's me. So they say.
It is a pleasure to meet you.
Wish I could say the same.
Oh, have I done anything to? Have I done anything to make you feel that I've wronged you as a king?
Just a deep mistrust for monarchs.
How come?
This is my king of the
Yes, this is the king of Dotas. You've never you've seen this profile on the coins, on all of the silver coins of the kingdom. The golden coins have the insignia of the country, and the copper coins have the map. But every time you've had a silver in your hand, this face has been there.
You can't sit there and try and tell me that you are ignorant of the abuse that goes on through your kingdom.
Oh, absolutely. Lord Vlari, who attacked your village, has been severely punished and has been kicked out of the nobility altogether. His whole family is now destitute for his actions, and he has to spend the rest of his life atoning for having misrepresented the nobility of our proud country.
And you think that that's a good way to show how the subject should be treated? He makes one mistake and therefore you now his life is completely ruined. Seems pretty harsh to me. Was there any kind of court? Was there any kind of trial? Did he have any opportunity to represent himself?
Absolutely, of course. The people of your village testified that all of this was in self-defense, that he was coming in with, what was it, taxes, and that
he was taking all the food.
Yes, taxing the food for his armies. Yes, absolutely.
I don't know if you can call taking all the food taxing. He was planning on taking all of our food stores. The entire village.
I know.
And
the
what have you
villagers were
done?
right. The court punished him. I'm sorry. Rot. Should I call you Druid Rot?
Call me Rot.
I'm sorry, Rot. I've not come here to discuss statecraft with you.
Well, why are you here then?
I wanted to thank you for taking a stand against the rebels and their ideology. They've dropped your skull from their faces, and they are now wearing a completely different outfit. You have renounced them, and as a hero of the people, you've turned the people away from the rebels. I wanted to thank you for this. They've been a terrible danger to my kingdom, attacking some of my most vulnerable and important citizens. help restore order.
Well, I know that most of that group was just being disillusioned by some screwy leaders that they run into with.
Yes.
Yeah, so a lot of
Is
them
it-
have
is
some
this-
very valid reasons to
would-
be upset with
this-
your kingdom and the way that you rule.
Would this new leader happen to be? You see that he looks into his into a little backpack that's set next to it. That's made out of like this very like rich leather clasps it, and he takes out this little made out of red fungus wood mask that's shaped like kobold.
It's not my responsibility to investigate what's going on in your kingdom.
Of course.
You've exiled me from your kingdom, so
Oh, well, but that's why I'm here.
all right, tell me more.
So, the what do they call it? The rebels have made it, unfortunately, so that wearing the mask of your order of druids that they took. Well, people report anyone who wears such a mask as they should to the proper authorities. So you might have trouble returning to the kingdom as things stand until the rebels are dealt with. But you see that he reaches into his bag and he draws this like long scroll with 3 seals on them, and he hands it to you. And you see that the seals make a history check. There's a golden one, there's a black one, and there's a red one.
Got a 9.
Okay, and they each have
Wow.
they each have a blue ribbon attached to them.
Plus
14.
9 plus 3?
Oh, 9 plus 3 is 12. Sorry.
12.
Okay, cool. You recognize the first seal. That's the symbol of the country, and you don't recognize the other 2. Read through it, and starting with this gigantic signature that takes like this much space on the scroll. And as you roll it up, it is full legalese. But the first sentence says, "We hereby grant full pardon to the individual known as Rot the
Rothnakari.
yes, Rothnakari, also known as Rot the Horde."
Well, thanks, I guess.
Yes. The I don't usually come all the way to anywhere to issue pardons. Usually it's messengers that can do this sort of thing, but I wanted to ask you a personal favor. Not an order. I am your king, but I don't think any orders will be necessary.
What's your favor?
I would like to ask that you do nothing.
That I do nothing?
That you do nothing, that's great.
That I don't look into the rebels? That I don't try to bring peace to the kingdom?
I would like to think that your involvement would complicate things. If you came in with your mask, you might be seen as a rebel, and we don't want to cause any sort of problem with someone thinking that your pardon is for Rot, but that they can't identify you without looking past the mask. All
But
sorts
everybody
of...
knows I wear the mask.
Well, yes, but so do all of those rebels. It's the same mask. It's a complicated situation. I just want you to take this life that you've made for yourself here and do absolutely what you will with it, with the blessing of the kingdom of Dotas as long as you're not doing anything reprehensible and do nothing.
Alright, well, I really appreciate you coming all this way to give me this nice pardon that you got here, and I'll take your words and your favor into consideration.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me. I will see myself out. Oh, there is one thing. Yes. I'm a busy man, and sending messengers between the long corridors of Dotas, it's can be difficult. So instead of waiting for you to produce an answer later, I will take your answer now.
I can't give you any answers now. Can't give you any guarantees now.
That is a shame. That is a shame.
So if you want to take that as a no, then that's your prerogative.
I certainly will take that into consideration. Wait, before you go anywhere.
I just want to
You can say Rod sits down on the floor and the king sort of has a moment of like, well.
Can I float on a cloud?
Hmm?
Can I float on a cloud?
You can use Great Crack to create a little bit of mist around.
Just
You're not like actually hovering, but you're creating a pretty fine
you can sit on your broom and create the clouds around.
Yeah. Like you make a good impression of comfort while lying on this hard ground. Well, there's just been a little problem, I fear. It's your aunt. We, and her husband. They disappeared one night, and when we investigated, we found out they left you a letter in case you return home. Unfortunately, my secret services are holding on to this letter, but she said in there that she had decided to join the rebels and was following someone called Alvin to be with them. Naturally, I would hate for something to happen to one of your last few family members, so
Are you threatening my family?
I am saying that if
you
you take a decisive stance on all of this, it will be easier to convince your aunt to return to reason. I will grant her full pardon, of course, but
I have no desire to do any dealings with you, sir. You have shown yourself to be as corrupt a
Well,
monarch
have a good
as
day,
I
then.
believe
Have a good
anybody
day.
to be.
I will see myself out. It was nice meeting you, Rod the Brave. I don't think we will see each other again.
Yeah, but don't return here.
You hear a little bit of struggling on the other side of the door as you shrink, and finally the doorknob turns and the door opens.
Stacked up on each other.
And
I don't trust that king.
No way, Jose. That dude sucks.
cool. A few hours pass. Your characters reconvene. As the while all of this was happening and you were distracted, all the students have left. You patrol the grounds long before the poison gets activated, just to make sure nobody is still around. And apart from Tritz, Headmaster Kala, who is going to be at the big meeting, and the two security teams, you find that everyone is gone from the school. Would you like to put some spooky, nighttime, mysterious music?
Just so you know, it's like almost 8:30.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna do this. Actually, hold on. What? How do we want to do one combat that might take a little while, or just leave it here for today?
Probably.
Leave it here?
Yeah, because like
It is getting late.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
tired.
it's getting late and the buses run less often.
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Let's bring it to a close here. Then, so the last scene we're going to do is going to be a skill check, as your characters are like looking around. You start to hear. You look towards the Artificer Tower, where the other security team is, and you see a green gas getting released into the low light of the evening here at Candlekeep.
Oh yay, chlorine.
Like, they have activated it. Your characters put your equipment on themselves. I'm gonna ask a luck check for everyone. Because magical equipment, it can be a little bit finicky. So if you roll a 1,
It fails.
we'll see. You can all go ahead and roll. You don't need to wait.
I rolled a 5.
5.
A
Okay,
10.
cool. Your equipment is working fine.
I also rolled a 5.
Okay, cool. Everybody's equipment is working fine. As the green gas reaches you, you see that it sort of like stops a few inches away from your face, but that your vision is sort of like obscured. So, for the duration of this, your vision is going to be limited to 15 feet in front of you. Okay? Cool. As this happens, you start to hear little screams coming from beneath your feet, and then you see a couple of birds around you in the courtyard, and a couple of the trees, the ones that seem altered by magic, one of which looks like fleshy and is sometimes seen like moving its own branches, sort of just leaves turn completely gray, and it starts to sink low.
Kind of decomposing.
And as this is happening, you, through the mist, through this green haze, you're going to hear, and out from what appears to be a secret passage in the central courtyard, you're going to see 5 figures, sort of like floating up from beneath a stone slab that you've just seen move, and sort of float like their feet are on ground level, but simply not moving, just on
Gliding.
gliding like one of the
Hovering.
yes,
They're all standing on magic Roombas.
Mary.
From afar, you're not able to make out any distinguishing features unless if you make a roll. Damien, you do have a lizard that can hold its breath for a little bit. If you want to spy.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know who they are, and I don't want to risk anything.
Cool.
I mean, so this would just be like distinguishing features,
Yes.
like.
I
Okay.
can do that.
Yeah. And what role is it for?
Are you stealthily getting closer?
No. I'm just trying
doing
to.
perception. Cool.
Yes.
Perception.
19.
19.
16.
Cool. Okay. The two of you, in order to sort of catch a better glimpse, you sort of rotate your heads. The one that's at the back stops as the other 4 glide forward, and it sort of rotates slowly. You see this big outline in the green gas, and the form comes towards you, slowly coalescing into a shape. And if you would all like to come behind me, I can show you what this shape is. Let's see. Oh yeah,
Slender Man.
this one. This one's gonna be the one that I'm gonna use.
If it will load.
Yes.
Oh my god, it's so horrible.
I don't see any shapes.
Indescribable.
No, it's because it's loading. My goodness.
It is indescribable.
Come on.
Indescribable horrors.
Come on. Yes, there it is.
Ooh.
Yeah, this looks like Slender Man.
Yeah, so this basically bronze, like green bronze
That's Jenny.
looking creature with no nose, no mouth, extremely long claws in this sort of like sarcophagus posture with the holes of the eyes should be,
You know what it
there's
reminds me of?
blood dripping on the whole body.
Let me guess, this is Jenny.
I am Cronenberg. What are you doing on the prompt?
We're here for the annual extermination.
Excellent. Proceed. And you see that he sort of like moved back into the darkness.
It kind of reminds me of the Pale Man
You
from
have...
Lance as Lambert.
Oh, nice. You have just met...
Cronenberg.
You have just met a member of the Board of Trustees. And that's where we're gonna end for today!
And we all have a status fear.
Yes, we are all struck to the core with fear.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's like, it is just, like, we look and we just see, like, a giant white void in the shape of, like, whatever it was.
Or, no, everybody sees something different. Their most horrific nightmares.
Yeah. Cool. And we will...
Or 18, I'm saying.
I'm so sorry that I took most of the table for a map that we didn't end up using, but we can put all of this stuff in its own little bag or box, so that we all have it for next time.
Oh, is this gonna be the combat?
Yeah, that's a bunch of corridors with stuff in it.
Corridors with stuff in it.
I'll reassemble it in a way that makes sense next
It
time.
reminds me of the sewers.
Stars and wishes.
Stars are, I think you did a pretty good job with, like, all the social stuff for this one, and made it interesting.
Cool.
And definitely a good mood setting with the music.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well,
that's also a star for Damien.
Yeah, that's a start for Damien. Damien doing a great job of setting the mood, right? It's a team effort, y'all. We're all telling the story together. Some of us are good at notes and snacks. Some of us are good at like selecting the proper music.
I think my phone just died. It died right on time.
Huh?
My phone died just in time.
And some of us have a lot of experience in tabletop role-playing games that they can draw on to play this.
As far as a wish, like this was like honestly like a really solid session.
Okay. You, if something comes up while we're doing this, you can tell me a wish, but otherwise,
I can put this stuff in here.
Thank you.
Cool. Yes, your yes. Okay.
You know, I'm not even gonna put them inside the bag just so we can have them ready.
Cool.
I'm just gonna put them in here.
I have a star on my wish.
Yeah, go ahead.
So my star would be that, like, I like how this episode was more like kind of like build up for a bigger episode, it seemed like, and like how we were given the opportunity to kind of describe what kind of scenario we wanted to happen. And I think my wish would be that we get more opportunity to describe how things happen. Like
Yeah.
when we cast a spell, like an opportunity to describe how we want that spell to look like, or
Yes.
etc.
Absolutely. Yes. Give me 1 second to write that down. But that was actually a star that I had for last week that I forgot about. Takeover description. So this is something that that I will try to prompt more, but that you're also welcome to take control of. That was my a start that I think I forgot to say, Haley, for last week, was when I said you were being handed the letter and I hadn't written it, and you were like, "Oh, I know, I'll do it," right? And you just sort of like improvised it for me. It was like, awesome. I only need to add, "Please bring us money and magical objects," and like it was exactly what I wanted to put in there, right?
Cool.
So like that's you can just ask to do those things. I will try to give more opportunities and prompts for that. Damien.
Yeah, also the build up, just how everything was kind of like having the chance of saying like, oh, they seen one like this.
Okay.
That's a star. Did you say you wish?
Yeah.
What was your wish again?
My wish was to have more opportunities to describe like our stuff. Like if we cast a spell,
Oh,
if we like do a killing blow or something like that.
Yes.
Yes, also that. For me.
Okay. Cool. Alright. Let me.
Can't fit this in there.
Rot, Haley, I really liked how you played Rot in the scene with King.
I don't trust that king.
What I've learned, I like, this is something I've learned DMing for y'all. It's that sometimes the more any character is on screen, the more suspicious they are, especially in a mystery game. And so sometimes when I want to be like, this person might be shady, I can just introduce them. It was like, it was a very nice conversation you had. You got a full pardon. But you know, I really love the opportunity you gave me to pull a Bill Gates of being like, oh, I'm leaving. Oh, wait, there's one more thing.
Like, but wait.
Because you were like, you didn't give an answer. And I'm like, okay, cool, I'm just gonna leave.
I thought that was gonna be enough. But I understood. But thought that was fucked up when you threatened my family.
In-game. Trying to get this to.
I really liked the scene with Clark and how you cast not protection against good and evil, like
Lesser restoration.
Like to remove this sort of a weird curse. That was fun. That was fun.
It's so fucked up that we had to pay all that shit.
Yeah, you saved yourself a little bit of money on this one.
I'm still suspicious for Kala and the divination. Divination?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that can be your next mystery. If you're suspicious now, you can investigate, cast Lesser Restoration on...
Investigating a divination expert's gonna be tough.
Because going on what I just said
Kala.
Kala. Going on what Kala said, he wasn't trying to. It seemed like what's the word?
Are we still recording?
Yes, we're still recording until because I like to have the stars and wishes on there. But actually, we don't need that because I I just write them down anyways.